You are watching Pausing with Erik. We pause for a second or two. How do we keep life coherent when so much is changing? This is episode 300. Smartphone warning system. Today we are talking about motion. Motion is a universal skill. That means that it is applicable in every and any situation. So when we learn how to pause, here on Pausing with Erik, we talk about 5 different universal skills. And motion is one of them. This is the symbol or image for motion. It looks like a ball or a stone or a rock or something being thrown up into the air and then coming back down. So something like what goes up must come down. And that we can see with the lines there, the curved lines, we can see the trajectory, we can see the sort of path that the ball is taking and how it goes up and then down. We pause and observe the speed and direction of physical bodies. Motion is how we see change as it is unfolding. So here we're talking about physical bodies in a wide sense. Both, of course, our own bodies, but also physical bodies like the ball here. Something that can have its own path, have its own trajectory, its own direction, and speed. And universal skill motion is just that we pause and observe that speed and that direction of a certain physical body. Could be our own body, could be the body of another person, or the body of a phenomenon or another thing. So physical bodies in a wide sense. As creative as we want to be with this. And that motion is how we see change as it is unfolding. So this can be a bit difficult to do in practice, but it seems that we have the ability to pause and reflect upon change as it is unfolding. So if I sort of lean over and push this leaf on this plant, and I push it to the side and then release it, you see that it will wobble for some time. And motion is developing the ability to see the change as it is unfolding. It's being released and it wobbles for some time, and then after quite a long time it settles down. Now it is still again. So it took quite some time for the leaf to settle down again. So we have the ability to pause and observe change as it is unfolding. This is motion. And today we are applying universal skill motion on a piece of news that we received the other day here in Sweden, where I live. It was announced that Sweden will this summer roll out a new warning system. So basically every Swede has a smartphone these days. And this new warning system, called SE Alert, for Swedish alert. This new system is sort of built for smartphones. And SE Alert is a part of a wider EU initiative called EECC, I think. And the EU started rolling this out, I believe, in 2018. And now it is being more practically implemented in the different member states of the EU. And now in Sweden. So basically what this system is that this smartphone, all small smartphones, can at any given time start, there's this signal, this sound, this noise coming from the phone with a message on the screen. And these alerts, SE alerts as they're called, they don't need an app. They don't need any application on the phone. So these alerts come to the smartphone and make the smartphone give off this noise and this sound, even though the person has not installed any new software on the phone. So it's not really possible to opt out of this new feature. It is mandatory for all smartphones. And what this does is that if I sort of make a little sketch of a smartphone here. This new feature, this SE Alert, this effectively transforms the smartphone into a new kind of device. So now we also have this sort of alert on the smartphone. I make an exclamation mark here. And motion is that we pause and observe the speed and direction of physical bodies, right? So a smartphone always belongs to someone. So say that this smartphone, before the SE alert system, was being held by a person. I do like a person here holding the smartphone. And now, when the same person is holding the smartphone after this feature, after the alert system is being rolled out, it changes what happens to this body. It changes what happens to this physical body. So before this system is rolled out, the smartphone, there are notifications on our smartphones, a lot of them, but the notifications are benign. The notifications are not that distressing, not in its very nature at least. They are more mild. But this new alert system, which you cannot turn off, you cannot opt out. These alerts are about supposedly life and death kind of situations. The alerts are about very important information, acute information. So we pause and reflect upon that this new alert system has the potential to really change the motion of bodies. And it has the potential to change the motion of bodies very quickly, in a split second. So the point of today's episode is not to say whether this new feature is good or bad. The point of this episode is to simply develop the skill to observe this motion, to develop the skill to pause and observe, simply observe the motion as it is happening. So once we get these alerts, these SE alert or EU alerts in our phone, the question is, can we pause for a second or two? Is it possible to just look at the phone and pause for a second? Is it possible to catch ourselves and just actually consider what the message is saying? And these messages cannot reach the phone if it is turned off, supposedly. But it can reach the phone even when it is in silent mode. So practically, effectively, smartphones are now being transformed into some sort of warning device. So it also could be that we use the smartphone for all kinds of different things, connecting to many different sort of sets of emotion inside of us. Some emotions more gentle than others. And this new change, this new feature, let's say that, let's simplify it for sake of the argument. Let's say that this was the span of our emotions. Here we have our emotions on this sort of line here. With this new alert system, it has the potential to really spike our adrenaline in a split second, like an acute situation. So it becomes like an extreme reference point to the emotions we are usually used to sort of associating the smartphone with. So then this sort of emotional spectrum is being extended to more adrenaline-filled emotions. So the question is, what kind of emotions do we have here between the acute alert and what was our most adrenaline-filled emotion before this new system? So if this was our max before, and this was our minimum, our most calm emotion, max and min, then what about this new sort of span of emotion being sort of activated by this new feature? So this is the question. I draw a question mark here. How will this new sort of area of emotion feel like once this new reference point is being added? Will our emotional range expand through this whole range? Or is that too difficult for us? Could it be that this span sort of moves here instead? That what was our maximum alertness with this smartphone, could that become our new minimum? That it sort of pushes the needle, or moves the horizon of what kind of emotions we experience day to day. I'm speculating here. What we can say with some certainty is that this new alert system will change both what our smartphone is about and also how it moves our body's motion. So the question becomes, do we dare to pause and reflect upon change as it is unfolding? Do we dare to pause when this alert pops up and just think for a moment, what is this about? So that we may make good decisions. We will see how this will feel like, this new span of emotion connected to the smartphones. That's it for today. Thank you.